Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
And children, latest CBSE syllabus has been published. How many of you got it? I don't know. Anybody got the syllabus? No. So they have split the portions of the entire syllabus into first term and second term. And your case, since it is internal assessment, it is not that a problem. I think from 9th standard onwards, they have done it. They have split it into two terms, syllabus as such into two terms, and many portions have been deleted. I think the same portions which were deleted last year, they have deleted the same thing this year also. And I will forward you the new syllabus. Okay, just go through that. And from the first chapter, from Living World, we didn't take that taxonomic aids. That is deleted topic. And some chapters are as such deleted. And from certain other chapters, a particular portion is deleted. So I'll forward it. Just go through it. And biological classification also, I think I haven't sent the notes. So today, soon after the class, I'll be sending it. Okay, be prepared. And soon you will have a test paper based on second chapter. Shall we begin? So we were discussing about algae. We learned the general features, its economic importance, and also the major classes of algae. We just learned the names of the major classes of algae. And one of you tell me any two uses of algae, and then we'll proceed with the topic. Elaine, give me any two. You can say just one use. How
Ma'am,
are
agar is used to grow microbes
uh,
and used in ice creams and jellies.
okay? Then Lakshmi, another point.
Through photosynthesis, they fix half of the total carbon dioxide in Earth and increase the dissolved oxygen.
Very good. And we also learned the names of three classes of algae. Depending upon the pigment present, algae are categorized into three. Which are they, Adulya?
Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae, and Rhodophyceae.
And tell me the color of these three. Chlorophyceae.
Chlorophyceae is green,
Yeah.
Phaeophyceae is brown, and Rhodophyceae is red.
Any disturbance in the throat? No problem, no? You're
No,
fine.
ma'am.
Children, a few more to turn their videos on. Abdul Hasif, Buddha, Sreya, Irene, Aditya Dev. Okay, let us continue with the topic. We started with Chlorophyceae. Anyway, to maintain the continuity, I'll start from Chlorophyceae. Unicellular, colonial or filamentous forms. Usually they are grass green in color. These points we had discussed, but I thought this also quickly we'll recap. Usually grass green in color. And what is the reason for this color? The presence of pigments chlorophyll A and B. And chlorophyll is the pigment and it is present in the plastid, the green colored plastid, which you call as chloroplast. So within the chloroplast, the main pigments present are chlorophyll A and B, which will give grass green color to the algae. The chloroplasts can be of different shapes. So depending upon the species of algae, they can be of different shapes. It can be discoid shape, plate-like, network-like or reticulate, cup shape, spiral or ribbon shape. Most of them have storage bodies, which you call as spiranoids. So specialized storage bodies are found in green algae, and these spiranoids are located within the chloroplast. So inside the chloroplast, certain storage bodies are found, which you call as spiranoids. And what is its significance? What do they store? They store protein and starch. So the main items which they store or substances which they store are protein and starch. And certain other algae store food in the form of oil droplets. And coming to their cell wall, the cell wall is having two layers, an outer layer and an inner layer. So you have learned that in plant cell, generally they have got a rigid cell wall made of cellulose. And here in green algae, you can see on this, their cell wall is differentiated into two layers. Inner cellulose layer or inner layer made of cellulose and outer layer made of pectose. Both are carbohydrates, and some of the common examples for green algae are Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Ulothrix, Spirogyra, and Chara. And I showed you the pictures of all these algae. Then coming to the methods of reproduction, how do they reproduce? Vegetative reproduction is by means of fragmentation, either by fragmentation or by spore formation. So they can produce spores to carry out reproduction or fragmentation. So in fragmentation, the filamentous form or the alga will break into several fragments, and each fragment will be able to grow into a new alga, or they produce spores which can lead to the formation of new algae. Asexual reproduction is by means of specialized spores, which you call as zoospores. Already you have learned that these are flagellated and they are motile. Being flagellated, they are motile, they are capable of movement, and there are specialized structures or spore-bearing bodies. You call them as zoosporangia. Zoosporangium is singular. So these are the structures inside which these zoospores are produced. Zoospores will be produced in the zoosporangia. Sporangia is plural. Sporangium is singular. Sexual reproduction can be isogamous, anisogamous, or oogamous. So sexual reproduction can be isogamy, anisogamy, or oogamy. You already learned the difference between these three. And Emmeline, tell me, what is isogamy? What is isogamy?
Which are similar gametes.
If you simply say which is similar, will the answer be complete? What is happening between similar gametes? Sexual reproduction.
Fusion of similar gametes.
Fusion of. Okay.
Non-flagellated.
It's okay. Fusion of gametes which are similar in size. And anisogamous, fusion of gametes which are dissimilar in size. And what is meant by oogamy or oogamous fusion? Alan, what is meant by oogamous fusion? Alan, are you there? Oogamous. Anisogamous means this is a fusion between two gametes dissimilar in size. Isogamous means the gametes when they or the gametes which are similar in size when they fuse, it is isogamous fusion. Then what is oogamous? And what is oogamous?
Similar in size.
You forgot?
Ma'am, similar in size.
Malavika Prabil, you will have to repeat, Alan. Just listen to her. Yes.
Ma'am, fusion between one large non-motile female gamete and a motile male gamete.
Male gamete. That is known as oogamous. I'll repeat again, Alan. Here the fusion is between a large non-motile female gamete. It is fixed, which is female and which is male. And a non-motile and a motile smaller male gamete. Once again, the female gamete will be large in size and it will be non-motile. Whereas male gamete will be smaller in size and motile. And this fusion, when fusion is taking place between two such gametes, you call it as oogamous fusion. Alan, can you repeat?
A large female with non-motile and a small male with motile.
So their fusion is known as oogamous. Okay, so these are the methods of reproduction. Children, it is better if you can make a table and learn, because now when we are learning the reproduction of green algae, you might remember it. But once we complete learning the other two classes, then there can be confusion. Okay, make it thorough. Vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction can be carried out by means of spores or by fragmentation. Asexual reproduction is by means of motile zoospores, which are having flagella. And these zoospores are produced in specialized structures or specialized sporangia, which you call as zoosporangia. And sexual reproduction, just like in any other case, it is by means of fusion between two gametes. And depending upon the type of gametes, the fusion can be oogamous, isogamous, or anisogamous. Now with that, we have completed green algae. Now we are moving on to the next one, brown colored algae. They are mostly marine. These algae you usually find in marine habitat, and they show great variation in their size and form. So as you can see in the picture, some are very small, simple branched filamentous. At the same time, you can see highly branched, profusely branched algae, which are lengthier or which are very tall, like 100 meter in height. So from smaller, simpler forms, simpler filamentous forms, you can find profusely branched, taller forms also. So their size and form can show so much of variations. So once again, brown algae, they are mostly marine. You can see the picture of kelps. It's a big algae, like it reaches up to 100 meter in height, and they show profuse branching. So intense branching can be found, where at the same time, you can see some of them are very small. See, Spacilaria, Sargassum, all those are having very simple structure, and they are branched at the same time, very simple, not very tall or huge algae. So they range in their size as well as form. Mostly they are found in sea water or marine water, and they range from simple branch filamentous form like Ectocarpus. You can see the pictures of all these types there, to profusely branched algae like kelps, which can reach almost 100 meter in height. And next is about the pigments present. So when we discussed about green algae, we learned that the main pigments present are chlorophyll A and B. But here the pigments are chlorophyll A, C, not B. Chlorophyll A, C, then carotenoids and xanthophylls. Those are also the names of pigments. Carotenoids, you might have learned earlier in carrot, and all these carotenoids are present. Okay, carotenoids, xanthophylls, these are present in different plant parts. Apart from algae, in other plant parts also you can find chlorophyll A, C, carotenoids, xanthophylls, etc. And the color of algae, here in the picture also you can see the color, you cannot generalize. They are coming in different shades of green and brown. So their color ranges from olive green to brown color. And what decides their color? The amount of pigment present. Fucoxanthin is a xanthophyll pigment. It's a type of xanthophyll pigment. And depending upon the amount of this fucoxanthin, the algae can come in different shades, starting from olive green to brown color. So we cannot, even though we say it is brown algae, all are not having identical or similar, exactly the same color. They come in different shades, starting from or ranging from olive green to brown color. Once again, we completed chlorophyceae or green algae, and we started with the second one, that is brown algae. They are mostly marine, and they show great diversity in its size and form. You can see very simple branched and filamentous forms like Ectocarpus, Sargassum, etc. And on the other extreme, we have taller algae like kelps, which reach up to 100 meter in height, and they show profuse branching too. Then the pigments present are xanthophyll, carotenoids, along with chlorophyll A and C. And their color, even though we group them under brown algae, they come in different shades, starting from olive green to brown. And the color depends, or the shade depends on the amount of fucoxanthin, which is a xanthophyll pigment present in these plants. Okay, shall I change?
No, ma'am.
Okay, note it down. They are marine. They show great diversity, both in their size and form. They can be filamentous form or simple branched filamentous form or profusely branched form. And in terms of size also, I told very simple small algae to algae that reach to around 100 meter in height. So they are showing great deal of diversity. Both extremes you can find great deal of diversity is found in its size and form. And the pigments present are chlorophyll A, C, xanthophyll, and carotenoids, whereas the pigments present in green algae that we learned, they are chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. And the color depends upon the amount of pigment, the xanthophyll pigment present in them, that is fucoxanthin. Okay.
Yes.
And now coming to the storage form of food, how they store food, in what form they are storing food. So we learned about pyrenoids and all when we learned about green algae. Here food is stored as complex carbohydrates, that is laminarin or mannitol. So you need to learn these names. The storage form of food in brown algae, whereas the storage form of food in green algae we learned oil droplets, protein, starch, etc. And here all these are carbohydrates. Both laminarin and mannitol, they are carbohydrates. So food is stored in the form of complex carbohydrates and they are named laminarin or mannitol. Then about the cell wall also we mentioned when we learned about green algae. They have two layers, a cellulosic layer and a pectose layer. Here they have a cellulosic wall, a cell wall made of cellulose, but at the same time it is having a covering, a gelatinous covering or coating is present, which is made of a substance known as algin. So whenever you learn these points, you have to relate with what you had learned earlier. So in green algae, we learned they are having a cell wall consisting of two layers, outer pectose layer and inner layer made of cellulose. Here they have a cell wall made of cellulose, but at the same time, a gelatinous coating is present, which is made of a substance known as algin. So we should know the storage form of food, then the pigments present, and also the speciality of its cell wall. Protoplast, you know what is meant by protoplast, the entire living content of the cell. It contains plastids, centrally placed vacuole and nucleus. So central vacuole, that is the common feature of the plant cells, you know, because plant cells are having larger vacuoles. So the nucleus will be pushed towards the side. So central vacuole, plastids, nucleus, etc. are present in the protoplast. Now, the plant body is attached to the substratum by means of a structure known as holdfast, and it has got a stalk. You call it a stipe, and a leaf-like photosynthetic organ that is known as frond. Children, earlier also I told you this comes under thallophyta. They don't have any well-differentiated plant body. We call its plant body as thallus because it is undifferentiated. And the three parts which they have here, as you can see in the picture, there is something similar to a leaf that is known as frond. So here you can see a frond and which carries out photosynthesis. Then there is a stalk. Stalk is known as stipe. And then there is a structure by means of which it is attached to the substratum. Okay, with the help of which it gets attached to the substratum that you call as holdfast. So the three main parts that you can distinguish or that you can find out in brown algae are stipe, frond, and holdfast. What are these three? So they have got a structure which will help them to get attached to the substratum where they are getting attached. So for that, they have holdfast. Then there is a stalk which is connecting the frond with this holdfast, that is known as stipe. And frond is the photosynthetic organ, which is having the pigment and which will help in carrying out photosynthesis. Some of the common examples are ectocarpus, dictyota, laminaria, fucus, and sargassum. Children, you should know the examples too. Sargassum, ectocarpus, dictyota, laminaria, etc. Once again, I will repeat the points. Food is stored in the form of complex carbohydrates. And these are laminarin, mannitol, and about their cell wall, they have got a cell wall made of cellulose, but it is provided with a coating of algin. It's a gelatinous substance, a gelatinous coating which is made of algin, and the cell is having, or the protoplast consists of plastid centrally placed vacuole nucleus, just like any other plant cell. And their plant body can be differentiated into three parts: holdfast, stipe or stalk, and frond. Then the common examples: ectocarpus, dictyota, laminaria, sargassum, and fucus. Okay? Okay, children? Shall I change? So here already you have seen these pictures. Ectocarpus, sargassum. Okay. Now moving on to the methods of reproduction. Okay. Hope you are remembering what we learned about the reproduction or the methods for reproduction in green algae: vegetative propagation, asexual reproduction by means of zoospores, and also sexual reproduction. And depending upon the type of gametes or the size or the similarity between gametes, you can categorize it into three types of fusion. And now it is about brown algae. Here also vegetative propagation, same fragmentation is carried out for vegetative reproduction. Then asexual reproduction, it takes place by means of zoospores. Here also zoospores are the structures or spores which will help in carrying out asexual reproduction. But some specialities are mentioned. You already learned in the green algae, they are provided with flagella. Here they are pear-shaped with two flagella. They are biflagellated and pear-shaped, as you can see. And here I think, yes, here you can see in the picture. No, it's not mentioned here. So you can see pear-shaped zoospores, and these flagella, I told two are present, and these are unequally, or these are unequal, not equal in its size, and they are attached on the side laterally. They are placed on the side. So once again, asexual reproduction takes place by, and these zoospores are biflagellated, or they are provided with two flagella. And specialities of these flagella, these are unequal in size, they are unequal, and they are placed laterally. The positioning, or they are located on the laterally they are located, or on the side. Towards the side you can find these flagella, and there are two flagella, unequal, they are not equal in size. And here also sexual reproduction takes place by means of the same type, same methods: oogamous, isogamous, or anisogamous. Union of gametes, so the fusion of gametes, so fertilization takes place in water. Either it can take place outside its body, outside the plant body, that is in water, or it can take place within certain specialized structures, which you call as, children, you may mute your microphone. Devi, is that Devi? So much of disturbance. Children, okay, let me continue. The fusion of gametes, it can take place either in water, but in case of oogamous fusion, the process of fertilization of fusion of gametes takes place within certain specialized structures known as oogonium. You will learn about oogonium later. Once again, we learned about reproduction in brown algae, vegetative propagation by fragmentation, asexual reproduction by means of zoospores, just like in the case of green algae, but these zoospores have got two flagella which are unequal in size and they are placed laterally, and sexual reproduction is similar to that which we learned in green algae. It can be isogamous, anisogamous or oogamous fusion, but one more point they have added, the fusion of gametes takes place in water, but in the case of generally in water, but if it is oogamous fusion, that is the fusion between a large non-motile female gamete and a small motile male gamete, then it takes place within the oogonium. Gametes, now coming to the size of the gamete, they are also pear-shaped that you can see here. Just a minute, children. So the gametes are pear-shaped, just like we said in the case of zoospores. Both of them are pear-shaped or pyriform, and they have got two laterally attached flagella. As we said, here also you can see laterally attached flagella. So both in sexual, asexual spores, also the flagella are situated laterally, and in sexual reproduction also the gametes are, the shape is similar for zoospores and the gametes, shape is similar, the number of flagella similar, and also the location, the placement of these locomotory structures are also same. Once again, in zoospore, two flagella, then they are placed laterally and and they are pear-shaped. These zoospores are pear-shaped, and here in sexual reproduction also I told the gametes are pear-shaped. They have two flagella, and just like in the case of zoospores, these are also laterally placed. Okay, children. So we'll have a quick recap, and those who have to take seminar, they can start that. So we need a quick recap. What all points that we learned? Reproductive methods in green algae. Shabiri,
Vegetative, green algae,
just list the names. Vegetative reproduction,
vegetative, asexual, and sexual.
sexual reproduction. Jyoti, what are the three types of fusion taking place in sexual reproduction?
Isogamous, anisogamous, and
Oogamous. And what are the storage form or the different storage form of food in green algae? Valentina, in what form food is stored in green algae?
oil droplets.
Pardon?
Oil droplets.
Oil droplets. And within pyrenoids, how are they stored?
Protein and starch.
Protein and starch. And what about the storage form of food in brown algae, Mehrin?
They are stored as complex carbohydrates like laminarin or mannitol.
Okay. So, Shar, tell me about the pigments present in brown algae. Main pigments. Pigments. Like in green algae, we learned chlorophyll A and B. So, similarly here, what are the pigments present?
Caramonoids and xanthophyll.
Two more I said about chlorophyll.
A and C.
Yes, chlorophyll A, C, xanthophylls and carotenoids. And then what have you learned about the cell wall? Malavika Vibin. Malavika Vibin. What about the cell wall in brown algae? Where are you, child? Anila ji. What about the cell wall in brown algae? You have to check. Huh? Mainly, the cell wall in plants are made of what? Plant cell wall is made of what, Anila? This you have been learning from lower classes. Which carbohydrate?
Cellulose.
Cellulose. And here, what do they have additional? Apart from the cellulosic layer, they have one more layer. What is that? Sarah? Gelatinous coating made of algin. And then we learned about the methods of reproduction. So here also vegetative reproduction by means of fragmentation. But asexual reproduction is by means of Abhinav. In brown algae, asexual reproduction takes place by means of Abhinav Menon.
Sexual reproduction by pear-shaped.
Asexual. Hello, asexual.
Asexual.
Ah.
Yeah, ma'am. By pear-shaped biflagellae.
Bifurcated zoospores. Okay. And what are the similarities between gametes and zoospores in brown algae? The asexual spores are zoospores. They have some similarities with the gametes, which are which carry out sexual reproduction. Nimita, can you say? I told you a few similarities between zoospores and the male and female gametes. What are those similarities? Who can tell me? 3 points. Anybody? Basma? Similarities between zoospores and the male and female gametes. It is very simple. If you were paying attention, I don't think you will have any trouble in saying. In between, you're getting distracted. Devi, can you say 1 point?
Ma'am, gametes are pear-shaped.
Yes?
Gametes are pear-shaped.
Both are pear-shaped. Zoospores and gametes both are pear-shaped. Then, second point. What are their what is the locomotory structure present in them? Both have same. What is that? Nimita.
Attached flagella.
Who is saying? Flagella. How many flagella do they have?
2.
2. Gametes as well as in zoospores only 2. Then what about its position? How are they placed? Huh?
Unilaterally processed.
Who can tell me? Devika, how are they placed? How are these placed? Laterally placed. Children, what I understand is you're not listening. Otherwise, these are not difficult points. And I told you towards the end, these are the similarities gametes and zoospores share. You please note down when I say all these. Okay. Take a little more, take studies a little more seriously. Any doubts? Any doubts in what we covered, children? Any doubts in what we covered?
Ma'am, Ardra's present. Ma'am, Ardra's.
Okay. Thank you, children. See you next class.
Thank you, ma'am.